Good morning, this is Mike from Osseo the Mouse Unplugged, and we are doing our Tesla cross-country road trip from Las Vegas, Nevada to Orlando, Florida. It is Friday, May 25th, and I'm here with my road trip pal Morgan. She's trying to catch a little early snooze. Got the car fully loaded, Model Y, and gonna start out here going from Las Vegas to Albuquerque on our first leg. A little concerned about the trip from Kingman to Albuquerque or Flagstaff. It's a little uphill, and we got a fully loaded car, and we got to get a full charge in Kingman, so we'll see how that goes. I'll show you here the map. Here's our full trip. We're gonna go from Las Vegas to Albuquerque, cut through Dallas, and then down into Florida in the southeast. For this first leg, we did not get a very good charge. We were staying at a hotel last night. They did not have chargers, so we're going to stop in Henderson and then Kingman, and then on the way out through Flagstaff. The only concern really is this stretch from here. It's about a 3,000 mile incline, and it's about 147 miles, so we'll see how this stretch goes. Again, I'm fully loaded, but again, it's just Morgan and I, so we'll see how this works out. We are currently at 45%. And we'll head it on our way. See how it goes. Thanks. All right, so we made it to White Hills, Arizona. It is 9:14, so it only took us about an hour to get here. This should be a pretty short stop. It's just in between Las Vegas and Kingman, and then Kingman we're gonna have to fill up a little further. So not a bad drive. Started off with 45%, got here with 19%. It would projected us to get here with 19 or 18%, so within the 1%, which is pretty great. It was a little windy, had some elevation changes, but if you use the energy map on the chart or on the app, it works pretty well. I'll show you here in a second. All right, and as you can see, like I said, we're at 250s kilowatt chargers here in White Hills, Arizona. It's only saying 4% remaining continue just to get us to Kingman, and then Kingman to stay there for 40 minutes. May stay here a little longer since we're the only ones here, and see how much we can get, and that way we don't have to stay too much at Kingman. And then that big stretch between Kingman and Flagstaff is mildly concerned about just because of the weight I got in the car. Probably have at least 750 pounds in the back of the car, so don't want to get it to be too hot. It's only 82 right now, but we'll make this a short stop and then be on our way. What do you think, Marks? She's been doing this the whole time. Okay, so about to head out, 9:30. We're at 57%. Went above and beyond what we needed to go. Went to go see how much it cost, and it's not telling me currently, so we'll go back and look at that. But we went from 18 to 57% in just in about 10 minutes or so. So that'll get us to Kingman, and should get there with 36%. We'll need to charge up for a full 30 minutes in order to get to Flagstaff. So it's the next stretch, and yeah, so far so good. So looking forward to the next one. See you there. So we made it to Kingman, Arizona. It is 10:12, pretty short trip from Arizona. We were in White Hills, and we're supposed to be here for about 30 minutes. The next stretch is the one I was, like I said, mildly concerned about, just because it's 147 miles. You got a 3,000 elevation climb, and I've got a fully loaded car. So stay here for 35 minutes, or 30 minutes. Right now we're charging 189 kilowatts. And that'll take us up to 90%, probably go a little bit more, just to give us a buffer. And I'll show you here the display. All right, so just started charging up. We got here with, I think it was about 35%. It was projecting 33% on the live, so not too bad. And yeah, right now it's saying to Flagstaff, need to charge for another 25 minutes to get there. Like I said, I'll probably give myself a little bit of pad, just depending on the winds and the elevation change. The temperature is not too bad, 78, so hopefully that doesn't get too much hotter on the way there. And the Kingman stop's not too bad. It's next to this the visitor center. It's a little busy, but not too bad. I moved all the way to the end, and Morgan's continuing to sleep. Okay, so it is 10:45, and we're at 93%. Want to get as much as we can. The car is pretty interesting. So it's saying Flagstaff will get there with 45%, and we'll have to charge for 30 minutes to get to Gallup. I'm going to go a little bit more. A better route planner was saying even if I charge at 89% here at Flagstaff, or here at Kingman, I would be down to about 10% at Flagstaff. So I'm not sure why the big discrepancy on this stretch. So I know this stretch is about a 3,000 foot elevation going from this direction. So that's why I want to get as much charge as I can, especially since we are fully loaded. So may leave here in a couple minutes. As far as the cost, this one is showing me. So we go to charging. So $21 for this charge, and it was pretty much the full way. So we'll finish up here, and then we'll be on our way from Kingman. All right, so we made it to Flagstaff, Arizona. It is 1 o'clock. It was about 2 hours driving. We ended up switching to the 250. There's two superchargers in Flagstaff. One is at the other side of town as you come into town, but it's only 150 kilowatts. So on the way in, I was looking, and there's that new one, 250 kilowatts. So that's where we headed to. Overall, we made it with 21%. The road is atrocious on that stretch of I-40, so wasn't able to use autopilot a whole lot, just trying to weave in and out of the potholes and everything else with the big rigs. As far as the charge, so we charged up to 95%. Originally it was telling us to get here with 55%, got here with 21, and that's due to the elevation change. And just, you know, the nature of the drive. So good thing paid attention to a better route planner. That had us coming in at 10%, so we came in with 21. I was going a little slower in the beginning on the first half of the trip, just to make sure that, you know, we didn't have to stop in Williams or anything like that. But overall, no issues getting here, no worry. Once I made it about halfway, then I just stepped it up to a little faster to get here. But overall, it was pretty good. And so you can see 214, 210 kilowatts charging right now. We're down to, we got here with 22%, so already charged up a little bit. And next stop is Gallup. So we should be here for about 25 minutes. And there's a gas station right over there, and not much else. A couple people coming in to charge. It's getting a little popular. So we'll be here for 25 minutes. We'll do a potty break for Morgan, and get some lunch and be on our way. All right, so we've been here about 25 minutes. We're up to 85%. Got a little busy, and so we lost some of our kilowatts. We went down to almost 75 at a 250 kilowatt. So looks like we can make it to Gallup. There is a Holbrook, Arizona that's in between Flagstaff and Gallup. and so that could be a safety net if we need it, but it looks like we can make it all the way to Gallup on this charge. And I'll show you here in a second. Looks like we can get to Gallup at 20%. Quick little restroom, bathroom break. Morgan got to walk around, and it's not a bad stop. So as you can see, right now, if we get to Gallup at 21%, we're at 85 right now, so I'll unplug here in a minute. There is Holbrook, which is right in the middle there. If you do that, you can see where the next charger is at, just see right along the route. So we should be pretty good. I don't see any issues, and we don't have the elevation change like we did. So looks like Gallup will be our next stop, and then on our way to Albuquerque, where we're going to call it a night and get some dinner. That charger is pretty full. You can see already only 2 available. So on our way, the other thing I want to show you is the range chart. So didn't do it for the last one, but I'll try to show it. Use this one during live. It gives you a live projection of the route. So right now it's saying, we'll get there with 18, and during the route, you can see it, how it goes under and over, kind of like an EVM chart. But I was using that on the last leg to kind of see where we're at. So overall, pretty good stop here. 25 minutes, I think we were here for, and we'll be on our way to Gallup. All right, so we made it to Holbrook. Probably didn't need to stop, but it was just close enough to where it was probably worth it. So it was only about probably stay here for about 10 minutes or so. So got here with 51%. I was saying we could get to Gallup without stopping and get there with 10%, but added a little bit of buffer. It is a little windy, but either way, it should be only here for about 10 minutes. Morgan, what do you think? Morgan? Yeah. And as you can see, yeah, we've only been here for a couple minutes already. It's saying we just need 5 minutes to go. So saying we'll get there with 12%. So I just wanted to add up a little bit of buffer. Getting to Gallup, and then Gallup to Albuquerque should be our last stop for the night. So stay here for a little bit. There's not much here. There is at least a Burger King right here, and there's quite a few chargers. So I think there's about 12 of them, and empty over here. These are 150s, so I'm getting 113 kilowatts. So quick stop, and then we'll be on our way. So we made it to Gallup. Started charging. It's 5:40 now, so we have the time change once we head into New Mexico. Got here, not too many issues. It was a smooth ride. We were going pretty fast. So it says we're going to be here for 20 minutes, and then on our way to Albuquerque. We're about ready to get going. I've been here 20 minutes or so. Got 2 minutes left remaining, and that gets us to Albuquerque with about 15%. Should be plenty since we're staying right next to a supercharger. We went to the restroom here at the Best Western, and we'll be on our way. So we made it to Albuquerque, New Mexico from Gallup. It was about 2 hours. It's 8:15 right now. Drive was pretty easy. I'm glad we actually charged up a little bit more because we would not have made it. So Better Route Planner had told me to go up to, I think it was like 85. The car was actually saying I could have gone at 75. So we got here with 27%. And I was going, 75, 80. Trying to stay the pace. So had I not gotten the extra little bit, we would have probably underneath 20% or at least 10% going that speed, or had to reduce. So this is our stop for the night. We are staying across the street, so we're gonna get a charge before we head in and check in, and then we'll kick off tomorrow morning. So as you can see, charging up right now, 214 kilowatts, pretty awesome. Got here with about 25%, so we charged already for a couple minutes, and we'll take a look at tomorrow's trip. But for right now, be here for about 20 minutes, get the charge we need, and then ready to go in the morning. All right, good morning. Day 2 of Mike and Morgan's Tesla road trip across the country. So we stayed the night in Albuquerque. We're on our way to Dallas Fort Worth. We're going to stay up by the Grapevine, Texas Motor Speedway area. So first stop, Santa Rosa, Amarillo, Childress, Henrietta, and then we should be there. 4 stops total. First one is just a top off real quick because we probably could make it to Amarillo on one charge, but we'll play it safe and just stop real quick and take a break. So we'll get going here. We've got Starbucks, we're properly caffeinated, and we'll be on our way. All right, so you can see we're at 85%. It's telling us to go from Santa Rosa to Amarillo, Childress, and then Henrietta. So you can see there is a station at Tucumcari. So a better route planner was saying just do a small top off at Santa Rosa. That one's only 150 kilowatts, and then stay a little bit in Tucumcari. There's a little bit more, and then we can make it to Amarillo. So we may try that option. Again, just gotta plan ahead and look at it. Otherwise, just the 2 other stops. We'll do lunch in Amarillo, and on our way to Dallas Fort Worth. Full day of driving. There is some thunderstorms along the way, so hopefully that doesn't hold us up. But we'll get going. We'll see how it goes. So we made it to Santa Rosa, New Mexico, about an hour and a half drive from Albuquerque. Got here with 33% charge. It's saying to stay for 40 minutes and then make it all the way to Amarillo. May alter that and stop at Tucumcari for 10 minutes, stay here for 10 minutes, and then do Tucumcari for 10 minutes, and then get to Amarillo. These are 150 kilowatt chargers, so you can either stay longer and do the 40 minutes here, or just break it up into 2 sections, 10 minutes each. So I think we're gonna try to do that instead. What do you think, Morgs? Yeah, she agrees. So you can see we got here with just under 35%. So it's saying, be here for about 30 minutes. But if we take a look at our route, it's saying we can make it from Santa Rosa to Amarillo with the 30-minute charge. What we may opt to do is go ahead and just add this Tucumcari one in. So if we do that, I only got to stay here for about half the time, and then just do Tucumcari for 20 minutes. So we'll see how that goes, and then we'll be on our way. And then as far as this charger goes, looks like there's 6 stalls, 4 on one side that are pull-ins, and then 2 that are backup up there. So about 3 cars here right now, so not too bad. So we made it to Tucumcari. Morgan's taking a break. But yeah, we're just going to be here for a short 10-15 minutes to make it all the way to Amarillo. Instead of just doing a long charge, the last one we decided to break it up and do 10-15 minutes each. So we'll be here for about 10 minutes. We got here with 41%, so we only used about 25. It was a short 25-30 minute drive, and then we'll be on our way. And so as you can see, charging at 142 kilowatts, 142 kilowatts at 42%. It's saying about 15 minutes, and that'll get us to Amarillo, and we're gonna eat some lunch at Rudy's Barbecue. This one's got about 6 stalls, so a couple people just pulled in, and these are pull-ins, and there's a hotel right there, so hopefully the bathroom's working, and we'll be on our way. All right, so we were here for about 10 minutes, took Morgan around, a little quick walk. I got to use the restroom, and we should be on our way here. So we got up to 74%. It's about 10 o'clock. Gets us into Rudy's at 11:30. And then there's Amarillo East and there's an Amarillo West Supercharger, so we can do either one. But that's our route so far. So we'll unplug here and be on our way. And she's already snoozing. So we made it to Amarillo, Texas. It's 1 o'clock. We stopped at Rudy's Barbecue, picked something up, and then brought it over here to the charger where we'll eat. So it's 1 o'clock. We got here with about 20%, and we're going to charge here for about 15 minutes, and then we'll stop, let Morgan out, walk around, eat some lunch, and then be on our way. So for this stop, it's a 250 kilowatts, so we're charging pretty fast, 24%. It's saying be here for about 15 minutes to get. Next stop will be Childress, Texas. Probably stay a little longer, but we'll see. Probably go about 20 minutes or so, just to give us enough charge and coverage and whatnot. So that we don't have to reduce speeds or anything like that. So overall, pretty good stop. There's a big Valero. A Wendy's there, there's a dog, there's a little playground and a place to eat, and then there's about 12 or 15 stalls, and pretty empty. Another blue Tesla over there. So we'll check back in a little bit. So we're about wrapped up. 20 minutes later, we're up to 70%. And saying we should get to Childress about 30%, so it's more than enough. So pretty quick charge, 250 kilowatts, and there's nobody near us. It's 1:20 right now, up to 72%, so I'll get unplugged here, and it's saying we'll get to Childress with about 31%, and then just 2 more stops. This one went pretty quick, because as you can see, nobody else is here. Although the gas station's pretty cool, they got barbecue and other stuff and food in there, so pretty good stop overall. And then one more thing, if we go to the cost and see how much actually this charge did cost us. Looks like it was only about 15 bucks. I haven't unplugged yet, but not too bad for to get like a full charge at the next stop. So we made it to Childress, Texas. We got here with 26%. I think it was saying to get here about 35, so not too bad. We're going a little faster. Should only be here for 15 minutes. Then one more stop in Henrietta, just for 10 minutes, and then on our way to the hotel in Fort Worth. So could have done one stop. It would have taken a little longer, 30 to 40 minutes. Decided to opt for 2 different 10 to 15 minute stops, let Morgan out. And luckily there was a Starbucks, so she got a pup cup, and we are ready to go. So you can see we're getting started here. We're the only ones here at this stop as well. But we're at Childress, should be 15 minutes, and that'll get us to Henrietta, the next stop. And if you look at the map, if it loads up, there's Texas, just on the way down, just the one stop there. And then as we go into Dallas-Fort Worth for the night. All right, we're wrapping up this charging session. We're up to 72%, been here for about 15-20 minutes. Total cost of about $14. So we're gonna head out. There's another stop at that town, but we're just gonna head down to Henrietta. There's 12 150 kilowatt ones, so we'll just top off there real quick, and that'll get us the rest of the way into Fort Worth. And then the hotel we're staying at's got a charge point one, or otherwise we'll just top off and get some charge in the morning. All right, so on our way out to Henrietta. So we got into Henrietta. We left with 70% and got here with 15. Probably a little closer than I liked. Just outside of Wichita Falls, I realized that we were kind of falling pretty quick, so I slowed it down a little bit, and then through Wichita Falls I went down to 60, so that helped. I just want to make sure we actually got here and there was no issues. I guess it was a little bit windy, and then just going above 75 kind of brought down the percentage, like I think it was like 10 to 15% of what was anticipated. So we made it. We're good. We're charging up right now, 131 kilowatts, and I'll show you here in a second. So there we are, 131 kilowatts at 22%. It's only saying 5 minutes. Probably go a little further than that in order to get us to North Lake at the La Quinta there, in kind of in between Dallas and Fort Worth. So we'll keep on charging up, make sure we got enough, because there's not any, there's a couple of chargers nearby in Grapevine if we do this one. So we want to make sure we either can get to that one and back for tonight, or just charge up in the morning. I know there's a charger at the hotel, level 2, so if it's available, there's only 2 of them. We'll just do that overnight, so we'll get enough to get us overnight and into the hotel. So other than that, we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be on our way. So we were here for about 15 minutes. Got up to 80% actually, which is pretty good on a 150 kilowatt supercharger. So we're going to head out. Let's say we're going to get to Dallas or Fort Worth with 55%. So we'll see what that has. That'll give us plenty. We'll see if that actually pans out. That should be plenty for overnight, and especially if the hotel charger is not working, and then get us to the next charger the next morning. All right, so we've been here for about 15 minutes. We're actually up to 80%, which is pretty good on a 150 kilowatt supercharger. It's saying we're going to get to Fort Worth with 55% to the hotel, so that'll be plenty in case the hotel charger is not working, and then we got plenty options to get to a supercharger in the morning. So we're still charging 80%, 610, and saying we'll get there with 56%. Charger is actually pretty nice. Henrietta. There's a big gas station. It's got barbecue, steak and shake, a bunch of other stuff inside. And there's quite a few of them here. So not a bad stop. We'll be on our way into Fort Worth. All right, so we got to Fort Worth. We're over by the Texas Motor Speedway, staying the night in a hotel. Got here with 46%. Originally was telling me you can get here with about 60, 65. So I think all the weight and everything else is really causing issues on just the drive. So about 10% less than what it's averaging, just because of the weight in the car. So overall, pretty good trip today. Minus that one stretch where it's probably going a little faster and didn't calculate the 10%, 10 to 15%. So overall pretty good. Tomorrow's day 3. We're going to head from Dallas, Fort Worth down to just past Mobile, Alabama. Another long day, but looking forward to it, and we'll see you in the morning. All right, good morning. Day 3 of Mike and Morgan's. She's already sleeping. Epic road trip. So we are in South Lake right now. We're going to head all the way out past Daphne, just past Mobile, Alabama today. Looks like we're going to take I-20 across instead of I-10, kind of switched it up a little bit, mostly just because there's a couple superchargers that are a little closer together, and so that may help us today. So getting ready to go from South Lake, got our coffee ready to go, and I'll show you guys here the map in a second. All right, so starting off here in South Lake, Looks like we're gonna stop in Terrell and then a couple more stops. I was trying to miss that Shreveport one because it's in town. If we can just cut through real quick, that'd be nice. And then just a couple more stops on our way to just past Mobile, Alabama. So big day today. Trying to get an early start. Started off with 76%. There's a Buc-ee's in Terrell, so that's our first chance at taking out a Buc-ee's. Should be pretty awesome. She's ready to go. So we're at the Buc-ee's Supercharger in Terrell, Texas. It's saying we don't need anything, but I'm gonna charge up just a little bit so we can get a little bit more at Lindale. We'll bypass the Shreveport one, and then we'll be on our way. So as we're currently at, Lindale's right there. We'll need to charge up. We can bypass Shreveport and make it all the way to Ruston. So just gonna top off here a little bit. It's pretty awesome. Supercharger, there is a lot of them here. I think there's about 24. And then obviously a Buc-ee's right there. So we're at the Terrell Supercharger. It's at a Buc-ee's, pretty awesome. There is a lot of chargers here. We were here for about 10 minutes, jumped up back to 75. That'll get us to Lindale with plenty, where we'll have to stay for a little bit longer, bypass the Shreveport one onto the Ruston one. So quick stop, bathroom break. Morgan got to get out. Now she's back to sleeping. So we'll be on our way here, but yeah, definitely an awesome spot. So we made it to Lindale, Texas. Pretty short little trip. 9 o'clock, got here with 47%. Should be here for about 35 minutes. We're going to try to skip the Shreveport Supercharger and make it all the way to Ruston, Louisiana. So be here for about a half hour. Not a bad stop. There's a little bakery nearby, so we're going to walk around and check it out. And as you can see, 35 minutes. These are 150 kilowatt chargers, so we're charging at 74 kilowatts because we're already at 51%. But should be here for about 35 minutes. Make our way to Ruston, Louisiana. We'll see how it goes. If it's taking a little longer, maybe we just end up doing the Shreveport one. But if we can skip it, that'd be ideal. So stay here for a little bit. There is pretty empty over here, but there's this kind of an old bank that's now turned into a bakery, looks like, and so we'll check it out. All right, so we may have a change of plans. So the distance between where we're at now and getting to Ruston, which is all the way over here, is 167 miles, but we do have the added weight and everything else. So if we do add in Shreveport, let's see what it does. And it's saying, yeah, we're good to go. Well, 30 minutes to continue. So we'd actually get there with 22% to Shreveport and then go to Ruston after that. So may end up opting to do this anyway, just because yesterday the longest stretch was 147 miles. I think with the added weight that we've got, I think normally under normal circumstances we could do it, no issues. With the added weight, I don't want to take a chance. So we'll just go ahead and add Shreveport in there. We'll cut down on how long we need to be here. I'll charge up for a little bit longer and then we'll be on our way. All right, so we are going to actually try this. We're gonna end up going to Ruston, Louisiana. We charged up to 95%. It only took us 30 minutes, only cost us $15. So if worst case, if it's not looking like we'll make it, we'll stop in Shreveport. But right now it's saying we can get there with 40%. So we'll see what it takes and see what it does. Morgs, what do you think? She's ready to go. So we changed plans again. We ended up stopping in Shreveport. About 45 miles in, it was showing that we were losing about 5 to 10% more than what it was saying. So we got here at Shreveport with 48%, left with 95. So that was about the halfway point. Probably could have made it to Ruston, but we would have had to go down below 70 miles an hour, and figured we'll just stop here for 10-15 minutes and then jump back on the road, and we should be able to make it. So you can see it is 11 o'clock, saying 30% because I have it set to 90, but we'll only go to like probably about 70 or so. So right now it's saying for Ruston, we'll get there with 23% at right now, so we'll just jump it up a little bit for safety measures and the weight and everything else. But yeah, we could have made it maybe. We had 50% left, but I didn't want to risk it, and I didn't want to have to go below 70 miles an hour on the drive, so people are going pretty quick here. So we'll just stay here for 10 minutes and then be on our way. 341, it's right at the highway. It's in a mall parking lot in the back, and there's a few people here. There's about 8 chargers. Alright, so we made it to Ruston, Louisiana. It is 12:30, so about 90 miles, hour and a half to get here. We only need this one for a really short time because the next one's going to be Monroe. And then after that, we'll need a full charge in order to get to Hattiesburg and then our final destination. So I'll show you the map here in a second. So as you see, we are charging. We're at 49%. There's our route. It's got us going to Monroe for some reason, so I'm going to see if I can take that out. And then maybe we just end up stopping at Jackson, or we have to hit up this one. That's the Hattiesburg one in between. But on the way there, we can either stop at Vicksburg or Pearl, Mississippi. Looks like there's 2 good options there. So take a look at that while we're sitting here, and then figure out the best plan. All right, so I figured out what we're gonna need to do here. I had Monroe set, and so that's why it was telling me I had to go to Monroe. I set Pearl up to be the place we wanted to stop. That's over here in Jackson, and then Hattiesburg, and then it just figured out the rest. So it's saying, hey, we can go leave now with 62 and get to Vicksburg with 30%, and then we'll just top off at Pearl and then Hattiesburg, which is the 2 big stretches that we definitely need to do in order to get to our final destination. So yep, it's telling me we are good to go. So we'll get unplugged here and then be on our way. We were only here for about 5-10 minutes. Morgan didn't even get to go outside yet. So we'll do that real quick, and we'll stop in Vicksburg. It looks like that'll be about an hour and a half, and then one more in Jackson. So we made it to Vicksburg, Mississippi, right at the Mississippi River. We just needed to stop here for like 5 to 10 minutes to get us all the way to Pearl, Mississippi. So this one's not bad. We're at an Ameristar parking lot overlooking the Mississippi River, and I'll show you here in a second. So as you can see, we got here with 33%. It's 2:18 right now. Plan is to get to Jackson, Mississippi, and then charge up for a little bit, so we can make this long trek with one stop in between. Like I said, this one we only needed to be here for about, yeah, it says we're good enough to go right now, but these are 250 kilowatts, so we'll just go ahead and sit here for about 5 to 10 minutes, take a break real quick, and be on our way. There's quite a few here. There's about 12 of them, and then there's the Ameristar, and then there is the Mississippi River. So we made it to, where are we at? Pearl, Mississippi. It was just a short drive from the last one. It's 3:10 right now. And we could have made it, but we would have had to reduce down to 70, so I didn't want to do that. So that's why we stopped at the last one. Similar situation here. We don't need a whole lot to get to Hattiesburg on the next one. I'll show you on the map, but it's here, so might as well stay here for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be on our way. All right, and as you can see, here at Pearl, 140 kilowatts charging. Right now it's saying we would get to Hattiesburg with 18%, so we'll stay here for just a little bit, about 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes. That gets us all the way to Hattiesburg, and then one long stretch, so we'll definitely need a charge at that one for sure. Overall, pretty good spot. There's a outlet mall right around the corner here, and there's about, I think it's about 8 chargers, pull-in only. So we'll be here for a little bit, and then we'll be on our way. So we finally made it to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We got here with 37%. Pretty easy drive on the back road area. That was about 60, 65 for the speed limit and everything else, 2-lane highway. So not bad. We're still in the middle there, cutting through Mississippi on our way to Alabama. So we're staying outside, just outside Mobile, Alabama. So we got about another 90 minutes to go. And this is saying we've got about a 20-minute charge. We're at 38% right now. Get to the hotel. I'd like to get there with at least 20 or 30. There's a Buc-ee's just down the road with Superchargers that we'll probably try to hit up in the morning versus going tonight, so we don't have to backtrack. So take a look at the map here. All right, so you can see overall the last leg here as it loads up. So we just did this route right here, and then we got the last little bit going past Mobile. So right now it's saying 15-minute charge. We're at 61 kilowatts. There's about 8 chargers right now, and I think only 2 are unavailable. So we'll get out, walk around a little bit. There's like a Witch and a Target nearby and some other good stuff. So we'll walk around, stretch our legs, and then hopefully get enough to where we got at least 20 or 30% at the hotel. Take a look if there's any overnight charging available. All right, so the car next to me ended up leaving, and so I was able to move stalls really quick. And so we were at 61 kilowatts, and now we're going at 145. So a little faster. And we'll see, hopefully we can stay that way the entire time we're here. 30 minutes later, it's 5:30. Been here for about 30 minutes, up to 87%. So I'll wait till we get to 90, and I'll show you the map here. So it looks like we are good to go, up to almost 90%. That'll get us to the hotel tonight with 41, just in case we end up losing a little bit on the way, and then we got to get to the Supercharger in the morning. So about 5% difference between the getting from the hotel to this charger. So if I lose 10 on the way plus the 5, we got plenty for overnight. So we should be good to go. So I'll get unplugged and then we'll be on our way. One more thing, since this is probably one of our longest stops for charging, let's look at what the cost was. So you go there and go charging. Ends up being just over $13. About 7:30, easy drive, no issues, and we've got about 41%. I'll show the screen here in a minute. We just got in. We just got in at 41%. We're gonna call it a night at the hotel, and we got one more day to Orlando. All right, good morning. So it is Monday, Memorial Day, and we are headed out. So we just left the hotel. There is a Buc-ee's right down the street in Robertsdale, Alabama. So we're here charging at the Buc-ee's, and I'll show you here the map in a minute. We're going from Daphne, Alabama to Orlando, Florida, and it's saying it's gonna be about 500 miles, and we're gonna get charged up right now. We got up to, left the hotel with about 35. We started charging, so we'll try to get as much as we can here. It's saying about 15 minutes, and then I'll show you the stops along the way. All right, so here we are at the Buc-ee's in Robertsdale, Alabama. There's our truck today. It's just saying 1, 2, 3 chargers. There is a pretty big stretch over to Chipley, the next one, and there's Crestview in the middle there, so we may end up doing that. You can see that one's right there, and maybe we end up doing that one instead. So we'll see how much charge we get and then go from there. Otherwise, the Buc-ee's is a great stop. We're gonna go inside and get some breakfast tacos. There is 16, I think, chargers here, and as it's been pretty much all weekend, we're the only Tesla right now. Haven't seen a whole lot on the road this weekend. So we'll get charged up here, and it's saying about 10 minutes. We'll probably try to do about 10 to 15. I'll probably get lost in Buc-ee's, and then we'll be on our way. And Morgs went from sleeping in the bed to sleeping in the car. All right, so we are almost charging complete. It's only been a few minutes. Got some breakfast at Buc-ee's. And so added in Crestview. It's only an hour away. But we may do it just because that breaks up the big 2-hour jaunt that we've had trouble with. We'll see how it goes. If it looks like we can make it, then we'll just go ahead and press. If not, then we'll just go ahead and do a quick stop. Morgan will probably need the bathroom break as well as I after coffee this morning. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We'll get it to about 75-80%, and then we'll be on our way. And last leg of the trip, all the way down to Orlando. So we made it to, where are we at? Made it to Chipley, Florida. So we make the full 2 hours, no issues. We got here with about 28%. Was going about 70, 75. So pretty awesome little trip. And I was saying we're going to be here for 10 to 15 minutes and we'll be on our way. So I think at the last stop we had added in Crestview, but we got about halfway there and realized, hey, it wasn't going to be an issue. I think it's already gone up. So there was the trip. We only spent 60%, only lost 12%, got here with about 25, so no issues getting here. And then it's saying 15 minutes. Next stop is Madison. So let's take a look at that one. So a better route planner had said stop in Tallahassee, and then I think it was maybe Live Oak or Lake City. So we'll see what we'll do what the car says, and we'll do Madison, probably get lunch there, and then down to Ocala. So overall pretty good. This one, there's a Burger King right here, and there's one other Tesla here. So we will stay here for about 15 minutes, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so we've been here for about 25-30 minutes. We're up to 85%, so we're going to get headed on the road. It's got us going to Madison. We may end up stopping before, because it's saying we'll get there with 28, but then if you do the live view, it's saying about 10%. So there's a couple stops in between, so if we need to adjust on the fly. As you can see, it's saying we'll get there with 28% to Madison. For some reason, if I go to the live view, but we haven't started moving, it's saying only 8%. So we'll take a look. There's a couple other stops along the way, so if we need to, we can adjust easily. So let's get rolling, and we'll see you in the next stop. All right, so we made it to Madison, Florida. Originally we were going to stop at Crestview, but we kept on going, and the percentage was good, so we just decided to press to Madison, Florida. So it was about 2 hours of driving. We just got here at 12:30. Got here with just under 30%, 150 kilowatts charging right now. And I'll show you guys the map here. So you can see 12:30, already charging 147 kilowatts. These are 250 kilowatt chargers, a couple people next to us. So it's actually saying we can make it the whole way. We've been losing about It's 10%. This is our last leg. Or this is the current leg, but I don't think we'll make it all the way, and I don't want to push it like that, so we may end up stopping somewhere in between. So I'll have to take a look at what's the best option. It is a busy day of traveling. You can see some of these superchargers are pretty full. Like this one in Gainesville is showing that they're all taken, all 10 of them. So we'll get charged up here and see what the best option is to get back into Orlando. This charger is pretty good. They're next to a mobile gas station, and you got these back-in chargers right here. So we'll get charged up, be here for about 15-20 minutes, take a break, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so an hour later, we are at Alachua, Florida. Charging up. Should only be here for about 10 minutes or so just to top off, and then we head to our next stop. So I'll show you the map. So you can see we're charging up Alachua, 150 kilowatt, or it's a 250 kilowatt charger, it looks like. Estimated charge time 5 minutes, just continue. So we got one more stop, and then we are to where we're staying tonight at Reunion, Florida. So you can look at the map. This is the way down right now. It's pretty busy what's going on. So in Gainesville, only 2 stalls available there. This other one, 4 stalls available out of 7. And this one, it's a 12 stall with 10 available. So sometimes it's better to take a look at what's going on around you. Initially, it wasn't telling me to come here. It was telling me to go further. And so we opted for this one since there was less people. Yeah, otherwise we'll be here for a little bit, and then we'll head down to Tucumcari at the Turnpike there, and then that's our last stop. So this trip was the first time that we only had 1% less consumption, or actually we're in the green. I'm not sure really how that happened, but it's been pretty busy on the highway, so I guess a little slower. But overall, we'll stay here for a little bit. This one is next to a supermarket, and you can see there's quite a few of them, one other car over there. So we will charge up for about 10 minutes and then be on our way. All right, so we've been here about 15 minutes. We're up to almost 80%, so we'll get unplugged here and be on our way. And one more stop. Last charging stop. Morgan, last charging stop. All right. So we had to stop at the Turnpike. It actually said we could have made it, but we're at 44%. We're about an hour outside of Orlando, and that's where we're stopping our almost 2,300 mile road trip. But we had to stop, like I said, around the Turnpike. We need the Sun Pass, and we don't have one because we packed ours. And so they've got superchargers here, so we'll plug in while we got it. It'll put us back in Reunion, Orlando, with about 20%. So we'll stay here for about 10 minutes, do a bio break, let Morgan stretch out, and then we'll be on our way and finish up this road trip. So as you can see, here's where we're at. Just outside Orlando. That's the Turnpike. And this little last leg was pretty good. And again, we are in the green on the consumption wise. Just a lot of traffic and going a little slower. This is the Turnpike, so it's right in the middle of the highways here in Orlando. And again, we are the only Tesla here charging. All right, so we made it. Morgan's super excited. 2,300 miles in a Tesla Model Y across the country from Las Vegas to Orlando, Florida. Really no issues. It was pretty awesome. Supercharger network just made it easy. A couple spots. I think we had one place where we had a little bit of range anxiety, and that was in Texas. Was on a back road. I think it was through Henrietta, and I was going a little faster. We had the extra weight. but then just reduced speed to around 70, and we made it with plenty. I think the lowest I ever got pulling into a charger was about 15%. So overall, I mean, yeah, can't complain. It probably added about an hour for every 5 hours. It added about 45 minutes to an hour of charging, and then we stayed a little bit longer just to make sure. But overall, I think for each of the days, a couple 550-mile days, a couple 600-mile day, it only added about an hour and a half of charging, and most of them were, you know, when we needed to take a break or stretch our legs or something like that. So overall, great trip. Again, Supercharger Networks was the way to go, and I'll calculate all the total cost and put that here at the end with the different stops and how long it took us to charge. But we made it. Super happy to be here. We did it in 4 days, 2,300 miles, and she is ready to get out of the car. Huh, Morgan? All right, thanks for tuning in. Bye.